We wanted to talk about the struggles, the anxieties of what happens when you're standing there in front of that judge and he tells you that you're going away for a while. Some of you watching may have served time. Maybe you got your sentence today, or maybe you're looking at serving a sentence. And depending on the prison that you're going to, it could be different. We were able to go to the lowest security prison. It's actually a minimum security prison it's called Morgantown in West Virginia. At prisons like this, it looks like a tennis camp. There's no fences, guards have no guns, etc. So, I'll start with myself. It's probably the hardest thing that I ever had to do was when I was standing there in front of the judge. And long story short, I was convicted of securities fraud. And so I'm standing there in front of the judge. I know the prosecutors wanted to give me 5 years, but I ended up getting 24 months. And it's a long time for a guy like me or anyone when the judge tells you that you're going to prison. At first, when he said that number, my heart sank. It didn't make matters worse when my parents were sitting behind me and I could see my dad stone cold, and I could hear my mother crying. So when you commit a crime like I did, it just doesn't affect you. It affects your family members. What I didn't know moving forward after that day was the anxiety that's going to build up. And this is before you even check in. Myself and Sam, we had the I don't want to say the honor, but we had it easy in terms of self-surrendering. We weren't, FBI didn't come to our homes. They didn't arrest us. They didn't put us in a detention center. We were able to, for the most part, plan things accordingly. Make sure our families are going to be okay, make sure the financial house is in order, and then, we get dropped off at the prison system. But those are the things that you need to know if you're going to go to prison, especially if you're able to self-surrender like we do. If you get arrested, FBI comes to your door and takes you away, there's not much you can do if you're in the county jail, if you're in the detention center, and nothing you can do. You can make a few phone calls and plan things, but the way that we were able to do it, and for the most part, probably about 25% of the prisoners that do go to prison, you're able to, self-surrender. So it took me, I was free for another 3 or 4 months before I had to check in to Morgantown. And, during that time, aside from the sleepless nights, family not liking you, and I'm telling you, they're going to love you, but you're still going to be that guy going to prison. And it's not that they don't like you. It's going to take time because, there's embarrassments that come with, going to prison and committing crimes, especially like I did. You carry a name and things are going to happen in terms of you. Your family's going to get embarrassed and so on and so forth. But it does get better. The thing is, it's going to get much worse before it gets better. So up until that time, I got all my stuff in order. I knew my ex-wife at the time was going to be okay, and my family was going to be okay. I then flew from Los Angeles to Ohio to stay with my brother. And as I was with my brother for 2 or 3 days, he then dropped me off to Morgantown. Before I even got there, I didn't know what to expect. All I saw was Orange is the New Black, blood in, blood out, and all these prison stories. I thought I was going to go there and probably get my ass kicked for the first few days. But when I got dropped off, I was like, "Whoa, man! Look at this place. It looks like a middle school. Looked like the tennis camp that my parents took me to when I was a young kid. No fences, nothing." So I was okay for a second, and I'm like, well, what's gonna happen? So gave my brother a hug. That was hard, actually. Even seeing him cry. I only seen him cry 2 times in my life, and that was one of them. But when he dropped me off, and I started, walking to the gate, I checked in. Reality it set in pretty quick. It's nothing like when you walk in and you see 3 correction officers. We're going to call them COs. There's nothing like seeing the 3 of them standing there, and then when you walk in, all you do is you hear the door shut behind you. Next thing they know, after they take your height, your weight, get all your measurements, and once they say strip and bend over, that's when reality kicks in. That's when freedom's out the door. It's gone.